It's out there now. I'm building a new layout, and this one will be going away. More on that in a bit, but let's go over the new track plan. The first thing that you need to know is that this layout is going to be modular. I'm going to be using the T-Track standard. This is arguably the most commercially available module out there, and people don't need a ton of tools or supplies to build them. That also factored into my decision, and also I'll get to that later as well. The layout is going to be built in phases. So let's go over phase 1. Phase 1 is going to be a simple loop. It's going to have 2 jobs that have 3 industries total. We're also going to have a small town scene with 2 industries on one side and a major industry on the other. Each end cap will be detailed and forested countryside. The town scene will be inspired by my trip to Elkin, North Carolina, which I showed a while back. I'll put that video at the end. There are a couple of sightings in town, and I thought it would be a cool scene to kind of emulate and use for inspiration. The industry is going to be some sort of generic warehouse with sidings, and I still have not quite figured that out yet. This layout's going to be designed to fit on a 6-foot folding table with a little bit of overhang, so I will need to get a board to sit on top of the table. Phase 1 is designed so that anyone can make this layout in a spare bedroom or even as a temporary setup and then store it away. No complicated bench work, just a board on a table with modules. There's even a similar option that you can fit it entirely on a 6-foot table without that board. Phase 1 is meant to be a low-skill entry point to building a layout anywhere. Let's talk about Phase 2. Phase 2 expands our layout from 1 table to 3 tables, and it will require overhang boards on the tables as well. This is a U-shaped layout that expands the original loop. It moves the town to the middle and adds a little fiddle track on one side in its place for taking trains on and off the layout. Phase 2 also adds another industry and a balloon track. The balloon track will be a custom module that I will detail its construction in a dedicated video. The overall footprint of Phase 2 is going to be 12 feet by 7 feet. Now moving to Phase 3. Phase 3 keeps the same footprint but nearly triples the mainline length. This is thanks to a helix specifically designed for T-Track. The helix in its current form goes up approximately 1 foot, though that will probably increase to around 18 inches. The helix has a max grade of a hair over 2% on the inside track, and you'll notice that it is an oval configuration. This is so that I can keep within the T-Track standards. The turns are basically end caps with double module links in the middle. The staging and large industry are on the lower deck with an extended countryside run to the helix. Once up the helix, the train will pass through Elkin before heading to the balloon track and the industry there. The one thing I want to figure out is how exactly to do a double crossover at that balloon track, and I know it's going to require some kind of auto reverser or polarity shifter, and I just have to figure out exactly how and where to wire it and how I want to do it. I don't think it's that complicated, and I might be overthinking it. The entire thing will sit on those same 3 tables, but it'll also have 2 decks, which means some level of bench work will be in order to build and support the system for the decks. I also need to figure out how I'm going to build the helix as well. The entire thing is designed to be taken apart and moved in a small U-Haul, which is my intent when I need to move it. I can simply pay the $50 or so total to get the little box truck and not worry about cramming it into the back of my car. Now, I have a sort of Phase 4. This involves continuing to build modules that I can take out and put away. Let's say you want to set up a huge layout in my garage, and I want to be able to do that temporarily. That really does not have a specific design, but I personally think it would be cool to give me the ability to make a massive layout that I can take down and store away. Now, why am I doing my layout this way? Well, it comes down to a couple of things. The big one is I want to build a layout that can expand and show others how to do it in a very accessible way. T-Track lets me do that. Most people can find space to work and store T-Track modules, and the purpose of using folding tables is so they can be taken down as well. I will probably put hinges on the boards that go on the tables so that they can be folded away too. Basically, I want this layout to be easy to recreate. A lot of you are beginners and newcomers to model railroading, and I want to essentially show you a path forward that most people can do, even if you don't have a ton of experience or a garage full of tools. This layout will be one that you can grow with and you can get better at in the hobby. You'll get better at scenery as you build more modules, and you can redo modules as you get better. I can't wait to take you all on this journey, and if any of you want to join me in building this, send me some pictures. I can't wait to see. Thank you all so much for watching. Until next time, I'm Jimmy from the DIY and Digital. Stay safe, be kind, and happy railroading.